beautiful souls. I'm Valeria Maritza here at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Okay, next message. I know. I keep getting these messages today, and I'm just recording them as I'm getting them because I was not planning on like doing a long thing. So here it is. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to repeat this. You do not have to do anything. And now put into that sentence whatever it is that you feel that you have to do. So I'll give you some examples being on the 3D world. Let's say you have to work because if you don't work, then how is the money going to come to you? And how are you going to pay your bills? And how are you going to take care of your family? Right? Etc. etc. That's just one example, right? You don't have to take care of your elderly parents. You don't have to get married and have kids. You don't have to go to college. Whatever it is, right? It just, I mean, these are just some things that are just popping up. And these are things that are popping up because they're related to me, meaning like these are some of the things that I grew up believing that I had to as I was younger. Like these are things that you had to do in order to make it in life. So whatever the story is, whatever it is that the story that you have been buying into, that you believe is true, that you are still telling yourself, right? Whatever it is, change that because the truth is that you do not have to. Now, right here, right now, a lot of you, maybe most of you, are going to be like, no, I do have to because otherwise, how will blah, 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 right? So think about one thing. And let's just go with the first example that I gave you, the job, right? Um, you don't have to keep this job that you have, right? And your first thought is, I do have to because if I don't, then I don't get to take care of my family, right? Very simple, very straightforward. That makes sense, right? So here's the change. The change is to switch the word have to get to. I don't, I don't, I have to go to work. You switch it by I get to go to work. How does that change anything? It changes in the way that you feel. It changes your frequency. It changes the way that you believe things are happening for you or against you. So I have to go to work, meaning I don't want to. I hate my job. I don't like what I'm doing. I wish I could stay home. Whatever the story is, all valid. Those are all coming from the part of I have to do it, meaning somebody's making me do it, or I have to do it in order to take care of this, but it's not what I want to. Therefore, you're immediately and right from the beginning vibrating at a lower frequency because you're feeling like that is not what you'd rather be doing, right? Okay, now here's the other way. This is how you start to change how you feel and change your reality. If you just change, you simply change the word have to get. I get to go to work. How does that change things? Well, now it's a choice. Don't go back to like, no, it's not a choice because, and repeat the whole story that I just gave you. Just play with this, okay? So play with the energy of like, I get to go to work. Why? Why do you get to go to work? Because really, it's all a choice. Every single time is a choice. If you choose not to go to the job you have that you don't like, what will happen? Well, I won't have the money. I won't be able to take care of my family. I won't be able to pay for XYZ, right? So you're choosing to go to that job that you don't like because it's giving you something or it's getting you something that you like better. If you stop working and all of this benefits from that terrible job go away, then you might be in a worse place than before. Therefore, the job, even though you may not like that job or really dislike that job, is giving you something better than what you believe the consequence would be, right? And what you believe the consequence would be is really also just a belief, because you don't know if that is what will happen. That might be, maybe 99%. What will happen is what you're imagining would happen if you stop going, but it's never 100% because there's always other possibilities. Does that make sense? So when you begin to change the word have, I have to, and by saying instead I get to, then you begin to realize, hey, I have a choice. I'm actually choosing to go to this bad job that I don't like because it's better, because I do get to have a roof over my head, because I do get to pay the bills, because I do get to take care of my family. And those things are a bigger thing than this job. So I'm beginning to see the job as a positive now because I'm getting all of these good things, right? Instead of seeing it as like this dreading, terrible place that I'm going to. And just by switching the way you're feeling about it, the way you're thinking about it, and then feeling about it, because now you're going into a place of gratitude. Now I'm grateful that I have this job, even though I don't like it, even though it's not where I want to spend the rest of my life, even though it's not what I want to continue doing, yet I don't see a way out, but it doesn't matter. It's still giving me something that's positive, and that is the fact that I have a roof over my head, I can take care of my family, I can pay for XYZ. So now, when you're looking at it that way, you're giving gratitude to the same exact job with the same exact people and the same exact circumstances that you had before, except now you're feeling elevated, you're feeling full of gratitude, you're feeling much better to go to this job than you were before. And just by changing that little bit, which is a thought or a belief, you are raising your frequency. And this is where the magic begins to happen. When you raise your frequency, you are matching yourself with a higher frequency. And if the higher frequency is that of love, of gratitude, of joy, more than of dread and feeling resentful or bad about it or angry, then you are now beginning to attract and connect with more things that vibrate at this higher frequency. So when you're in this low frequency of I hate my job, I don't want to go there, I wish I could change, I don't see a way out, I feel trapped, all of those things, you're feeling those things and you are vibrating here and you are creating your life around you to give you more experiences that match that frequency. So that could be like the mean boss or the coworker that always makes you upset or triggers you in a certain way, or the fact that the paycheck is just about to cover your expenses for the week versus having excess, right? And all of these things make you more upset, more hateful, and less grateful for the job. And so you continue to create the same type of circumstances, more of the same circumstances, because you're vibrating at that level. By switching the way you're thinking, the way you're speaking to yourself, and saying, I get to go to this job, same thing, everything's the same, except the way you're seeing it, your perspective, then you begin to live in this higher frequency. And it could just be one little step that is better. And now maybe your boss is nice to you that day, or maybe they just are absent and they're not even there for them to trigger you, or maybe that person who triggers you at work is not there or is on vacation and you have a much better day, or maybe your paycheck comes in and you have extra money because there was a holiday and you're feeling happier and more joyful and more grateful, which keeps you at a higher frequency, which has to, by law of the universe, attract more experiences that make you feel that love and joy and gratefulness that you're vibrating at. Does that make sense? So just by switching that, right? I don't have to do something, but I get to do something, and realizing why you get to and why it's a choice, right? You're choosing it. Now you're vibrating at this higher place. while you continue to vibrate at this higher place, because now you are living in the energy of being grateful, then you're going to attract other things that might make your life even better. So this could come, for example, as like, oh, your boss left and a new one comes in, and this new boss is much more fair and nicer. It could be that you get a promotion or you get switched to a different place where the job conditions are much better. Maybe your coworkers are nicer and things are becoming to be a little bit more joyful there, right? It doesn't matter what it is. And these things that I'm coming up with are just three-dimensional things that I can think of right now. But the universe has unlimited choices of things that it can bring to you and unlimited ways in which it can show you that you are now living at a higher frequency. From that higher frequency, you get to decide to go higher and higher and higher, and therefore begin to change your conditions, not by changing exactly what's happening here right now, but by you having a different perspective of your same life, looking for the places that you can find gratitude and living at this higher frequency, which then brings you more things at a higher frequency for you to experience. So this is a great aha moment for us to realize that we really don't get to. Actually, we really don't have to. We really don't have to do anything, but we do get to do the thing. And we get to do it. That gives us that sense of freedom. I am choosing this over that. I am choosing to go to that job because it's paying for these things versus I have to go to that job. Does that make sense? So just by switching that little bit is going to raise your frequency. It's going to start changing things in your life. Let me know how this falls for you. Let me know how it lands. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If this did resonate and it did help you, then share with other people. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. That's how other people get to see this channel. And with that, I love you and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.